Welcome in, everybody, to Betting Pros. It's time to place your bets. It is me, Joey P, Joe Pisapia, and this is BP NFL. Back for Thursday Night Football yet again. We got a fun one here. I love the in-division matchups. It sucks that it's on a Thursday, but it's fun because you know there's some hate and some vitriol, and these games really matter, so effort's not going to be a problem. To help me break it down, once again, Scott Bogman, the man, the myth, the legend, and Boggs. This is 2 weeks in a row. I've gotten my same game parlay, got the Chase over in the touchdown, got the Lamb over in the touchdown. And guess what? Uncle Joey's got another one for you this week. How you doing? I'm just going to keep rolling with these wide receiver overs and touchdowns. I think that's just the way to play Thursday night, it seems.
3-2 last week, so back on the winning side. So we like
go.
that. Also winning side on the college side as well. So just one game over 500 again, but I'll take it. You know, a game over 500 is a game over 500. So we're getting towards there. I was brought in just because I heard people on this show were not having fun last year, and I just wanted to bring fun back to this show, and just make sure everyone's enjoying themselves, right? That's what we're supposed to do, right, Joe? Fun.
I don't know. I'm requesting a trade, so I don't know. ESPN, I don't know, NFL Network. I'm gonna hold out for. I'm gonna go full Devontae.
You're making
Adams.
business decisions. Is that what you're doing?
I want to start going into business for myself. That's what I want to do. But seriously, it's a wild time right now in the NFL. Some crazy injuries. We'll get to the Bijan Robinson news in just a second too. That's actually good. So before we do that, make your picks count, everybody. If you haven't already, download the Betting Pros app because we've got some fun stuff, including our contest going on there and the podcast group. So join the NFL podcast group, and users can join the group by visiting the community tab in the Betting Pros app, or you just go to the link directly, bettingpros.com/NFL contest, sync your picks, use the quick pick feature on the Betting Pros app, and you get a chance to win free weekly and monthly prizes. You can elevate your betting strategy and join the conversation today. Again, at bettingpros.com/NFL contest. And remember, to be involved in the contest, you don't even have to make bets. You just have to make picks. So if you've been jonesing for that, if betting is not available where you live, well, shame on them. But also, you should vote. And also, you should make sure that you get the opportunity to make some picks and have some fun. Download the BP app and join the NFL contest today. Boggs, let's do the tail of the tape here for Thursday Night Football. 3-1 Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going into Atlanta. Atlanta is 2-2. The line right now is +1.5. You're getting a -104 on Tampa, -1.5, -108 for Atlanta. 44 is the best under you can get at Caesars right now. 43.5 is the best over. And the money line +114 is the best spot here for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on the upset. If you like Atlanta, -122, well, there you go. So the momentum here to me, Boggs, look, the Atlanta Falcons feel like a team that continues to show you some spots. They show you some moments, but it's the continuity of putting an entire football game together that's good that still seems to be eluding them. On the good side of this news here, Bijan Robinson seems like he's going to play. He was off the injury report. That's great news. They could certainly use him in this huge matchup. I am on the side of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers here. I just think the Bucs have looked better this season. They've played more complete games. I know they got the Eagles weak last week, but you know what? They handled their business. That's all I cares about at the end of the day. And in this matchup here, I just don't know if this is the week where Atlanta puts it all together. But what do you think about this one? This is practically a pick'em. So what side are you on?
First of all, I'm sticking to props in this game. I don't want to pick this side. It's a division game, like you said. It's a weird Thursday night game. But since I have to make a pick here, I am going to take the home team and lay the points for the Atlanta Falcons.
Okay.
It's not because I think they're so much better than the Bucs. I think if everyone is 100% healthy, I think the Bucs are better. But everyone's not 100% healthy. They're very, very banged up. On the Bucs side, we've got Tristan Wirfs questionable. Even if he plays, he's not 100%. Gedekis out. Antoine Winfield is out. They just lost a linebacker, Savassier Dennis. Vita Vea and William Golston, two of the best, run-stopping defensive linemen, are both questionable. So playing at less than 100% if they are out there on a Thursday. Just too many injuries for the Bucs here. I don't like it. So give me the home team on short rest. And in this weird Thursday night game. And we've had lopsided time of possession in 3 straight games. By the way, we also hit the over in that first game where both teams had 2 weeks to prep. and we've been under 3 straight weeks. This total is very low, but I think I like the under more, but I am going to take Atlanta here and lay the points.
Yeah, both these teams are kind of in that mid-range in the power rankings. I'm seeing at Betting Pros too. So, this is definitely one of those coin flippy kind of games, which I understand why then you're going to the props. Like, I totally get that. Makes a ton of sense for me too. I just feel like Tampa is more capable with Baker Mayfield the way he's played this year. The continuity of that offense, I think, just flows a little bit better. Using Bucky Irving and Rachaad White, having the two-headed running back system so far.
Probably no McMillan. Probably no McMillan.
And no Jalen McMillan too.
Probably, and definitely no Trey Palmer. And Mike Evans is not 100%. He's like, I'll take 50% of Mike Evans over most of the wide receivers anyway.
Year.
That's true. And I'll take him at 50% over 90% of the rest of the league. But it's just, they're just not, I don't know. It's just not a good week to have these injuries on a short rest, 3 days rest.
Of course.
It's just tough.
Well, I think these are the injuries that come up, or the veteran injuries too, where they log them, and then they get those limited practices, or they skip the Wednesday practice. But you don't have that luxury right now because it's the short week. So you play this week, and then you suck it up, and you give those veterans some extra rest next week, and they have some more time to recover. So let's start to get to the props here. But before we do, just a quick reminder: a great way to get ahead of the prop market is using the prop bet cheat sheet on Betting Pros. It's something I use all the time. I log my bets in there, bettingpros.com/Joe. You can go look. My prop bets on Monday night, Boggs, 4-0. All the overs on Geno, on Ken Walker, on DK Metcalf. Unbelievable night. They got the over. I got everything except the stupid Seahawks to cover. But this is a great way to use the tools, and that's what I'm doing to cash these bets, and that's what you should be doing also. It's a great way to look at the fantasy point projections, where the books have the numbers set, see the variance, and then push you towards the over or the under. So the prop bet cheat sheet is out there every single game. It's available. Use the tools. Help us help you to become the best bettor you possibly can. Boggs,
you have that voice, Joe, a little bit still. Does that mean you were still using the cough syrup on Monday? Or are we on the cough syrup streak right now?
I'm not. My girlfriend keeps making fun of me, though, because I sound more like Uncle Joey from Brooklyn, like I got a little bit more of that, like, hey, what do you do? You want to use the prop bet cheat sheet or what?
You picked up, Marlboros just over the last month or so. So
give me a pack of Winston 100s and then give me $100 on the Falcons. That's what we gotta do. But let's
Parliaments
get to your
and lottery tickets. That's right.
God.
Yeah.
Seriously. The funniest part, my grandfather used to smoke Winston 100s, right? And it was so funny. The house smelled like smoke, but he had that little tiny 1980s air filter that my grandmother would make him turn on that did absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
But every time he had to smoke a cigarette,
it's the yellowest fan you've ever seen in your life. Yeah.
Yellow. It's completely yellow. Oh, well, after that trip down amnesia lane, let's try to get back to the props here. All right, let's talk about it here. Let's start with Rachaad White. 33.5. It's a low number, but Rachaad White has struggled sometimes this year. However, in terms of volume and work, could be a little bit more for him, as you mentioned, with some other guys being out.
Yeah, I mean, Atlanta has not been good against the run this year either. 25th in rushing yards allowed. And he's still, I know everyone's upset with Rachaad White, and Bucky looks better, and he does. And I'm not going to sit here and argue that. But
no one's more upset than I am. I have way too much Rachaad White this year. Go ahead.
But let's remember the snaps still went heavily towards Rachaad White, 45-32 last week. And that was with Rachaad White coming in questionable with the groin injury, and he got sick on Friday night and had an illness. So both of those things were keeping him from getting more snaps in this game, in my opinion. We also have, as we mentioned before, Joe, this wide receiver room extremely banged up for the Bucs right now. Godwin is the only fully healthy starter that they have. So McMillan is out. Trey Palmer is out. Mike Evans is questionable. So I think they're going to rely on the run game a little bit more. I think this total is low because he looked bad last week, and I'm going to hit it. We're going to take over 33.5.
All right, let's go to Cade Otton. So again, with Jalen McMillan out, Palmer out, missing some guys, maybe a little bit more from the tight end. 27.5 is a pretty reasonable low number here for the receiving yards for Cade Otton. Do you want to go over it?
Yeah, we're gonna go over this one too, and the odds aren't great. It's -120. The 3.5 receptions I considered as well. You might get a little bit of a better number on that. I think I'm more convinced about the yards than I am. But this dude has had 17 targets in the last game. Last two games, Cade Otton has. He's close to 100% snap share every single week for the Bucks. We have the questionable, not only the questionable wide receivers here, but we also have Troy Anderson, who is the Falcons' best starting linebacker in coverage. Caden Ellis, not nearly as good in coverage as Troy Anderson, and Anderson is questionable for this game as well. So again, even if he's playing, probably not 100%. A lot more targets the last couple weeks for Cade Otton. I expect that to continue.
All right, let's go to Baker Mayfield, take a look at him because he's played very well this year overall. And I know some of us out there were a little concerned, how much would the change at OC matter to him? And, so far things have gone, I think, in the right direction for him. The number for him is 241.5. I see on Betting Pros. That's the best number we're going to find on him. But it is Thursday night, so sometimes those games can be a little clunkier. So where are you going to land on this one? He has gone over that number twice so far this year and 2 times under that number. The times underneath were at Detroit and then against Denver. So obviously that Denver defense has been pretty good the last couple of weeks. So what do you make of the situation here? 241.5. You're going to go over or under for Baker?
Yeah, I'm going to go under this because of the injuries and because of really the injuries on the defensive side for the Bucks. I think Atlanta holds the ball for the majority of this game. We've seen we didn't get it so much in the first game. Actually, I don't even remember in the first game what the time of possession was like, if I'm being honest. But I know the last 3 weeks it's been lopsided, and I think if it is lopsided,
it was pretty strong in that first week. I don't have that
it?
number, but
Okay.
But it was again, that was when they were dominating Washington there.
That was
that secondary.
Well,
was
no,
so bad.
I'm talking about the Thursday night game.
I'm sorry.
Just the Thursday night game. The last 3 Thursdays we've had lopsided.
Week 1. Sorry.
Yeah. We've had lopsided time of possession.
Yes, we have.
In one team's favor. And if I think it's going to happen this week towards one team, I'm not guaranteeing it. Of course, Thursday, they're weird games. But if I do think it's going to happen this week, my prediction would be Atlanta holds the ball and runs against Tampa Bay a lot. Which means they could get out to a lead, but Atlanta's offense hasn't been fantastic at scoring either. So for me, I think this is under 241.5. I think Tampa Bay runs the ball a little bit more to keep their defense gassed up, their banged up defense gassed up and on the sideline. They do pass the ball a ton. Both these teams pass the ball a ton, almost a 65% clip for Tampa Bay. I think that needs to change if they want to stay in this game with that defense so banged up. So I think they'll run a little bit more, which means fewer passing attempts and completions for Baker, which means I'll just take the under on this one.
Next up is Tyler Allgeier. Now, this is a fun one because if you look at the game log here, 2 times this year, he's had 9 carries for 53, 8 carries for 60. So those were his 2 biggest outputs. Both of those games where he had big outputs are the 2 wins the Falcons have. In those 2 games, he had a 12-yard catch, 1 catch for 12, 2 catches for 20. In the other 2 games that they've lost, he's had 0 receptions for 0 yards. So Allgeier, basically, it's kind of maybe Tyler Allgeier is the secret sauce of the Atlanta Falcons. I don't know, but we sometimes like to find those small numbers here on the show. And 2.5 receiving yards. That is basically, is Tyler Allgeier going to catch a ball or not? And Boggs, you think he's going to in this one?
Yeah, I do. Like I said, I think time of possession is probably shaded towards the Falcons in this game. And last week we also saw Tyler Allgeier get 38% snap share. And that's still well under 50%, I understand, but 18% week 1, 21% weeks 2 and 3. So it jumped up this week. Bijan also questionable. So if you get a lead in this game for Atlanta, specifically late, I think you're going to see a lot of Tyler Allgeier in there. He has more 10-yard runs than Bijan does on fewer carries. He has more yards after contact. He has, I think, the same amount of first down runs as Bijan has. And this is the reason in the preseason on my fantasy list, I had Breece as the number 2 back, is because I like Tyler Allgeier still. I don't think it was all Arthur Smith. I think Arthur Smith, I still don't like Arthur Smith. He is the OC of my
Nobody
team
does.
currently. He's been better than he was with the Falcons, with the Steelers, but I still don't like it. So I think,
Has he been better? Is he? I don't know if he's been better, or has the quarterback just made a couple plays here and they have so little to work with where it's so simple. Well, I guess it's like, well, you have George Pickens. That's it.
yeah,
It's
we
Fields
don't
and
have a
Pickens.
fair sample size. It's 4 games. So
Fair.
I still don't like him. I'll say that, even though the Steelers are 3-1, I'm still not a big Arthur Smith fan. But I think Tyler Allgeier is just a better back than people give him credit for. He's a much better back than a lot of people give him credit for. I think he'd be starting for a whole host of teams. If he was in, how good would Tyler Allgeier be if he was in Dallas right now?
Oh, you know what? Very good. And I think that we do have to give the Falcons offensive line credit, because before Bijan showed up, Tyler Allgeier was good there. After Bijan showed up too, everybody was good there. I just feel like, at a certain point, you have to get Bijan more touches. He's one of these guys, you got to get him the football as much as you possibly can, because good things happen. And the Tyler Allgeier stuff, I get it. Like, I understand wanting to keep Bijan healthy throughout the whole season. I understand different style of running too, and Allgeier certainly had some good moments in that game this past week.
And Atlanta's favored in this game. So, like,
They are.
Vegas thinks it's going to be a close game, but Atlanta's going to win. And if they are sitting on a lead, leading on it late, you're going to see Allgeier on the field a bunch, I feel like, because Bijan came into this game questionable. I do think you need to get Bijan going, but let's say he gets going in the first half, scores a couple touchdowns, looks good. Now you're leaning on that lead. Give the ball to the closer. Tyler Allgeier is the closer, and if he's on the field enough, I think in one catch, he has 4 catches this year. 1 went for 0. The others 7, 12, and 13 yards. So it's just 1 catch we're looking for Allgeier. I think he gets it.
All right, Boggs always has a defensive prop here, so where are you going for the defensive side of the football here for Thursday Night Football?
This one surprised me a little bit. Jordan Whitehead over 4.5 tackles plus assist. I don't know why this one was so low, because this season, Jordan Whitehead has, you know what? I read it wrong. It was 6.5, or it's bumped up to 6.5, but he has totals of 8, 11, 6, and 6
Still,
so
6.5,
far this year.
still pretty good.
And it's plus 130. Yeah, that's the thing. It's plus money. I think Tampa Bay spends a lot of time on defense. They did just lose Servassier Dennis. Britt is going to be in there, and Britt is a decent linebacker more. But we've seen Jordan Whitehead also play over 100 snaps in the box. And, he'll switch with Antoine Winfield a little bit in and out. They'll move Antoine a lot. Antoine is not playing in this game. So it's Christian Izien, the converted cornerback, is playing free safety for them now. And he spends almost all of his time as a free safety and not in the box, because they want to limit his role. He's kind of new to that position. So Jordan Whitehead going to come down into the box, I think, a lot to try to stop that running game of Bijan and Allgeier. And I think he piles up some tackles here. So 6.5, I don't think is a problem for Jordan Whitehead in this game.
All right, before we get to the same game parlay for Thursday Night Football, again, 2 for 2 last 2 weeks. Want to keep that train rolling. You can compete for a chance to win $11,250 in grand prize money in Splash Sports Second Chance Survivor Pool. You can enter now $25 at bettingpros.com/splash before 1 p.m. Eastern on October 6th. So time is ticking. Again, head over to bettingpros.com/splash and you could win that grand prize money. We want you to win it, not the other guy, you or the other gal. No, you. You're the one we want to win. Go check it out. Splash Sports, a fun way to get back into that survivor pool and hopefully this time not get eliminated like I did in week 2. I'm so miserable still that the Ravens lost to the Raiders at home. But we move on. We are on to week 5 here on Thursday Night Football, and I am on to Mike Evans, and I'm going to go with another receiver over and the tutty. That's what we're doing. It keeps working, so we're just going to keep playing it. Questionable, sure, banged up, but this is also a guy last week that saw 14 targets, had 94 yards receiving, and he's got 3 touchdowns now on the year. So give me the over on Mike Evans at 59.5 receiving yards. Give me the anytime touchdown. You put it together, you get plus 206. That's a pretty good way to double up your money. And if you're feeling frisky and you want to add in the Bucks at that plus 1.5 like I do, you're going to get that up to 4-1. So again, the best way to do it, the safer way to do it is probably just to go with Evans, the over and the touchdown. But if you want to just throw a little bit for fun on another same game parlay, add the Bucks in there. You could do it on the money line, but I'd rather give myself a little bit more leeway. Maybe they lose by a point, heartbreaking loss, anything's possible. But with the points at plus 1.5, again, you get that plus 206 to plus 400. Now, if you're looking for a way to build your own same game parlay, the Betting Pros app has you covered. We've got the same game parlay builder right now. You can combine multiple bets with a single NFL game, leveraging insights like correlated bet recommendations, EV ratings, and cover probability. So perfect your betting strategy by analyzing our overall correlation grades and projections, and stay ahead of the following by all the SGPs placed by fellow bettors just like you. So start building winning parlays today at bettingpros.com/parlay or on the Betting Pros app. Download the app, sync your sportsbooks for free. Let's go. Touchdown calls. Bogman, I know you know where I'm going, but where are you going for Thursday Night Football?
Yeah, I keep flip-flopping, but I'm just going to go easy on this one and take what I think it should be a decent dub. I'm going to go minus 140 and just take Bijan Robinson and put a unit and a half on it. I know that it is, the minus 140 is not the best number that you want. I was looking, I don't hate Cade Otton, I believe is plus 235. Not one that I dislike there. Tyler Allgeier is plus 205, but also 2 touchdowns for Bijan is plus 400. So kind of interesting there too. It's dicier. Maybe you just want to throw a half unit on that if you are doing it, or whatever your lowest bet would be, something like that. But yeah, I like that plus 400, but minus 140 seems like a pretty easy bet.
Well, I already called Mike Evans, so I'm just going to keep sticking with it. And I would bet this one separately to hedge a little bit. Maybe you just get the touchdown, but you don't get the over. At least you kind of break even on the day. It's not a terrible way to approach it, too. It's a good way to stay above the line. So give me Mike Evans plus 140. It's a really good number. Mike Evans, the go-to guy in these big spots, and this is a big in-division game here for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, where they can start to separate a little bit in this NFC South division. So this is a huge moment for them. A big game, Thursday Night Football. Scott Bogman, always a pleasure to hang out and talk TNF with you. But of course, what are you in on? I want to know. So drop your comments below here on the YouTube channel. Subscribe to Betting Pros. Ring the bell till it goes ding for notifications so you don't miss any of the content here, the podcast, the live streams, the shorts. We've got all of it right here for you. We got you covered on Betting Pros. That'll do it for us. But the story of the game goes on. For Scott Bogman, I'm Joey P. We'll see you next time, kids.